Check in and check out. The intention of check in and check out is to be able to take a file from your existing database, check it out and import it into another database like a client's database, and then your existing database, the source database, is flagged that the project has been checked out. You can make changes to a remote database and then you can import it or check it back in again. So the check in check out function creates an XCR file exactly the same as if you exported a project, but it also flags that the project has been checked out. So therefore, check-in and check-out functions enables a project to be copied from one database, worked on in a remote location such as the client's database, and then checked into the original database at a later date and the original schedule updated with the changes. On import from another database, you'll find that external dates are created when there are inter-project relationships in the source database. So if you're exporting one project and that project had relationships to other projects, then these are represented as external dates. You'll find external dates act like early start, late finish constraints and will affect the schedule calculation. Therefore, when you import either an XCR file or you check in or check out a project, you should always check for external dates. So let's move to P6 and have a look at how this operates. I've got 3 projects called check-in and check-out 1, 2 and 3 with 1 activity each. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to check out just the middle project and demonstrate that when you check it in, it doesn't create external early start or late finish dates. So I select File, Check Out. I'm going to check out the middle project. Next, I'm going to save it to the desktop. It saves it as an XCR file. It's exactly the same format as other projects. I'm going to overwrite an existing file and close, and now I've exported it. If I now go and open all the projects again, you'll see that the projects that aren't checked out, I can edit these durations, but the project is checked out, I can't edit it. And that's because it's been tagged. If I go to the projects view here, it's been tagged. You can see it's got a little tick box by the icon here, and you can see it's checked out. So this project has been checked out. I can check it into, or import it, should I say, I can import it to another database using the file import, and I use the XCR function where I import an XCR file. I can make changes to it, export it, and then check it back in again. So to check it back in again, I'd use the check-in function. I move on and I select the project. I select project I want to update, and we'll use the default configuration and finish. And you'll see now that it's been checked in. It's now been called checked in, and if I go to the activities view, you can see that no external early start or late finish dates have been created. What I want to do now is I'll change the duration, say to 30 days, and reschedule, F9 reschedule. And I want to export this again using the checkout. So I'm going to select checkout. I'm going to check just the one project out. Next. And I'm going to overwrite the existing file. And now I've exported that. I'm going to close all the projects. And now what I want to do is I'm going to go to the projects view and I'm going to close all these projects and right click, delete this one. Yes. This next one here, I need to actually check it in. Now you don't actually need to bring a file in. You can actually just click on the check in if you like to, and just check it straight back in again without actually going through the check-in or import process. And I can now delete that project, and I'll delete the last one. So what I've done here now is I've deleted all the projects, and I want to demonstrate when you import an XCR file that used to have external relationships, how it brings in external early start and late finish. So I select File Import. I'm going to select an XCR file. It's going to be a project, and I'm going to import that project, and I'm going to create a new one. And I'm going to put it into the check-in, check-out subdirectory. Next and next, I'm going to finish and import it. Now that project's been imported, and what you'll find is when I go to the activities view, you can see the external early start and external late finish dates have been populated. If I increase this duration here and I press F9, you'll see now that it's actually created negative float because the external early start, late finish act like constraints. So this is like a finish constraint, this is like a start constraint. So you see the project does not move forward to the data date and it's generated negative float. So to get rid of the external dates, I hit on the delete, and I delete both of these, so I delete both of these. And now you find if I press F9 and reschedule, then the project actually schedules where it belongs. So you'll find that when you either check in a project or even if you import an XCR file that's been exported and that project had external relationships, it creates the external early start and external late finish, and your project won't schedule in the way you expect it to. UNCFACT XML format. UNCFACT is an organisation that produces international EDI, that is Electronic Data Interchange standards, for electronic trade documents prepared in XML format. P6 version 8.3 supports UNCFACT XML format from the File Import and Export menu, so you can exchange data in UNCFACT XML format from P6 version 8.3. This format is mandated by many US agencies. Online HTML help. You'll find that the help menu in P6 8.3 has an additional menu option titled Online Help, which will display the information in HTML format, therefore assisting people with disabilities who may have additional browser option functions. The Admin Preferences Options tab has a new P6 Online Help section where you can set the default for pressing the F1 key, and this is set to the Oracle Technology Network by default. From the Help menu here, you can select Local Help, which will provide the local help, and this is from my C drive here, or I can select Help and go to Online Help, and this now is going to the Oracle website, picking up similar help information. If I go back to P6, in Admin Preferences, down here in Options, you can decide whether you wish to launch this online help to the Oracle website when you press the F1 key. So if I select Close and I press the F1 key now, it should take me to the Oracle website, which will be the latest of the online help. Activity Discussion feature. The Activity Discussion feature is a new tab that's been added to the Activities window in Primavera P6 8.3. And this enables a user to create a discussion thread for each activity, and then each entry is saved with the date of the entry and the username, and therefore the entire thread is recording, allowing an interactive discussion between multiple users who have access to P6 in that project. So in the IT industry or any environment where you have multiple schedulers working one project, this is very useful. But you find in the construction industry, where you tend to only have one scheduler having access to the project, generally this is not as useful, although it can be used as an alternative for notes. Let's go to P6 and have a look at it. So within P6, I select the activity. I can therefore put a discussion note, and then I can post it, and it's posted here, the date and the time, and therefore another person can log in and put their discussion note, and you can build up history on a subject. So I'm logged in as admin, I've selected this activity, and I notice there's a lot of negative float, so I can go to the discussion feature. I can then type in here a question, like why is there so much negative float, and then I can post it, and therefore you'll see here who's posted it and what the question is. And then somebody else can log in and they can answer it, or I can add additional notes to this activity. You then have options to show sent or received. You can order them, newest, oldest, and you can move up and down the activities using this button here. So this is a very useful feature if a large number of users have access to P6, or you can use it instead of the notes feature.